I spent 25 years in the corporate world, 20 years, as I said, with AT&T. I built switching networks around the world, in Europe and in Asia. I moved to Norwalk 20 years ago to raise my family. Both of my sons were born here. As a mother, even though I'm not from Norwalk, as a mother, you become from the place that your children were born, and that's what really becomes your home. I spent 5 years then as a management consultant dealing with organizational behavior and different sorts of peoples and personalities. About 10 years ago, I went through various health issues: breast cancer, leukemia, bone marrow transplant, and then breast cancer again. I'm either very unlucky or I'm very tenacious. But basically, I hung up my corporate cleats and I focused on my children and all things Norwalk. And I immediately went into the education world. That's what you do. You start volunteering in your children's classrooms, and one thing led to another. I started teaching, and I've been teaching for the past 10 years. In throwing myself into Norwalk, I also started getting involved in education reform, in our neighborhoods. Why? Because we perpetually never had enough money for our school system. A lot of that has to do with how we plan and zone our city. That's how we fund our schools. That's how we pay for our various employees. And so it's been that desire, despite all the things I did in the corporate world, being involved in my community has really given me more purpose in life. And so that's why I've decided to run for mayor. What I think would be good qualities in a mayor is that I am an independent. I've had the Democrats try to paint me as a Republican. I've had Republicans try to paint me as a Democrat. I've had Democrats try to say she's a Democrat that didn't want a primary, so that's why she's independent. Party people can't ever really believe that an independent truly is an independent. I'm probably more fiscally conservative and socially progressive, but the reality is, and I think this is a female trait, I listen to all sides, and I try to be pragmatic. And so that, coupled with my team building experience, I've worked with lots of different teams, and I've always been a change agent. In all my careers, and everything I've done, I've always been blazing new trails. And so I think that Norwalk needs to blaze a new trail in terms of breaking away from the state, because it's not going to help us. Yet we are perfectly poised to be able to look after ourselves. But I feel that my business background, my experience around the world, makes me more qualified to try and lead us in terms of revenue generation and making us a successful city. So I thank you.